Hey, I'm Danny with Final Flat Calls. I wanted to take a minute today to show you guys how to take your goose calls apart and take the guts out in case you want to clean them, you want to retune it, change the pitch on it, and put them back together so that you can make them sound like a goose again. I've got two calls here, and the reason for that is I run a different gut system in the GTC, this call here, as I do in the Descender, Hybrid, and Cack-A-Tack goose calls, this being the hybrid here. So for starters, to take your call apart, take the barrel off. I want to mention something here. If you want your call to sound the same as it already does, then what I do is I take a pencil or a Sharpie and I run a mark across the top of the wedge on the reed. A pencil, which I prefer, works okay because I shave the reeds. They have a rough texture on them and it shows up. But to take it apart, take your thumb and your index finger and just twist. And they'll come out just like so. Something I want to point out real quick is there's a reference line on the back of these guts. And you can use that to also line your wedge up on your tone board, as well as the pencil mark that you used. Once you get your call apart, you have three different components. You have a wedge, you have a reed, and you have a tone board. Another thing I want to point out is with these reeds, they're made of mylar. And when we get the mylar, it comes in big rolls, rolled up, and it creates memory. And when we punch these reeds out, it will hold that memory. So this is important. And there's two ways that you can do this, obviously, but you're noticing that this reed is flexing the same direction all the time with that memory. Some guys say that you want to have that reed memory going down. Some say you want it to go up. Well, that is very call and gut depending. And on the GTC, I have found that it works better if it goes down. So say I've cleaned this call, you can rinse them under warm water, not hot water, but warm water. Now I want to put it back together. So this is how you do it. Grab your tone board, set your reed back. Notice that I put it so that the memory is folding down into the tone channel. And you want to push the tip of that reed up to the edge of the tone channel. And you want to push on it so that the tip of it goes into the tone channel. And you want to make sure that you don't feel or hear any flicking where it's catching. But you also don't want a very big gap in there to let air escape underneath the reed without making the reed work. Once you get it to there, pinch it in this hand, grab your wedge, push it back up to that line. Now these wedges are tapered. Sometimes it's hard to see, but you'll notice that it's a little bit thinner in the back than it is on the top. You want the thinner part to go into the barrel first. I just push it into the keg until it's kind of tight, and then same like when you put it back, when you took it apart, you can push it in with your thumb and index finger. Now you want to put it back together and give it a test run. I've got a little bit too much reed exposed on this call. So I'm simply going to take it back apart and I'm going to push that wedge up just a little bit. This is going to make the call pitched higher. Give it another test run. Okay, now for the hybrid, the Descender, and the Cack-A-Tack, I run a different gut system. The difference is, on these three calls, we're going to do the opposite with that memory. Remember on the GTC it was going down. On these, you want it to go up. Give it a test run. And there you have it. You can always send calls to me and I can tune them for you, but it's not that hard to do it yourself. Feel free to shoot me a line under the Contact Us section of our website if you have any questions that I might be able to help you out with, and we'll get you taken care of.